Hindsight is 2020. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest decisions by TV characters.
I've made many mistakes in my life, but that wasn't one of them.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at character decisions that backfired spectacularly, or were just clearly the wrong choice from the outset. Pretty much all of these entries involve huge plot points from their respective series, so a spoiler alert is now in effect.
They're arranged in order of price. The most expensive are in the front.
We found traces of a certain toxic adhesive commonly found in very low-priced envelopes.
Number 10. Barry creates an alternate timeline, The Flash. Time travel should not be taken lightly. Flashpoint refers to an alternate timeline created after Barry decides to use his powers to save his mother.
You're not gonna kill her this time.
This selfish act inadvertently changes the present, causing the death of Cisco's brother and bringing to an end Barry's relationship with Iris. Flashpoint also allows Savitar, an extremely powerful speedster, to escape his prison. The consequences were so huge that the ripple effects could be felt on Arrow, a completely different show. Although Barry does reverse Flashpoint, there's some damage you just can't undo. Number 9. Zoe meets Frank in secret, House of Cards. Politics is a cutthroat business, and this ambitious reporter should have known better. Frank Underwood has his sights set on the Oval Office, and in order to achieve that goal, he strikes up a mutually beneficial partnership with young journalist Zoe Barnes. Their underhanded professional relationship eventually turns physical before Zoe realizes that Frank is a lot shadier than even she initially assumed. Despite her suspicions, the reporter agrees to meet the politician at a secluded metro station, which ends with Zoe catching an unexpected train ride. Number 8. Maggie gets in the box, American Horror Story. Seriously, what did you think was going to happen? American Horror Story loves its gore, with the freak show season being particularly murder-happy. Nearly everyone has blood on their hands, but only one death could easily have been avoided. Maggie might be a con artist, but she's also a genuinely friendly and positive person. On the other hand, magician/ventriloquist Chester is a time bomb of repressed emotions who suffers from severe hallucinations. So maybe don't volunteer to be his assistant. After getting into the box, Maggie is helpless to defend herself as Chester loses his mind and saws her in half.
What the bloody hell?
Number 7. Fiona forgets to put away the cocaine, Shameless. Fiona Gallagher has admittedly had it rough. Unable to rely on her deadbeat dad, it's fallen to her to take care of her siblings. And initially, she rises to the occasion. Working minimum wage jobs, the oldest Gallagher child demonstrates a strong sense of responsibility. But it all starts to fall apart when she begins having an affair with her boyfriend's manipulative and troubled brother Robbie. Ultimately, her bad choices result in an incident in which her much younger brother overdoses on cocaine. Cocaine that Fiona and company recklessly left out.
Oh my God.
Liam?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Call.
Liam?
This leads to a criminal record, a string of even more terrible choices, and Fiona needing to find a new job. Number 6. McNulty gives birth to a fake serial killer, The Wire. Now that is commitment. For a short period, things were going great for Jimmy McNulty. He was in a healthy relationship, and he was enjoying life as a beat cop. After being reassigned to the homicide division and returning to the loving arms of alcohol and infidelity, McNulty decides to pretend there's a serial killer in Baltimore in order to secure some much-needed department funding.
I'm going. I don't want a part of this.
This not only ruins McNulty's career, but also drags down a few other detectives with him. Well, at least this ruse fixed the drug problem on the streets of Baltimore, right? Good job, Jimmy. Number 5. Among other things, an unarmed Kim Bauer chases down a killer, 24. In this family, the apple really fell far from the tree. Kim Bauer was a fine cast member in the beginning, but she quickly overstayed her welcome and became a legitimate liability. Prone to making dumb decisions that land her in dangerous situations, like almost getting eaten by a cougar, her crowning achievement comes in season 7. After realizing that she's being followed, Kim leaves the safety of a crowded airport to go to the bathroom, effectively giving anyone wishing to harm her a perfect opportunity. As if that weren't bad enough, Kim chases down the trigger-happy hitman despite not having any weapon of her own. Jack's daughter might be the luckiest character in the history of television. Number 4. Lester tackles his marital problems with a hammer. Fargo.
I was being a man.
Is divorce no longer an option? Martin Freeman's Lester Nygaard is a mild-mannered insurance salesman and the town's personal punching bag. After breaking his own nose, Nygaard meets a drifter at the local hospital who offers to take out a bully targeting Lester.
You're asking me to kill this man.
No, that was, I was joking.
This leads to a string of murders, one involving Lester's own wife, who is bludgeoned to death by her husband after pushing him one step too far.
You gonna hit me? That's a lie.
If Lester had just controlled himself and walked away from the marriage, there would have been very little linking Lester to the other murders. Number 3. Dexter saves the Trinity killer, Dexter. This is what happens when you let emotions cloud your judgment. For decades, Arthur Mitchell pretended to be a respected family man and teacher, while leading a double life as the Trinity killer. For Dexter, this careful balancing act is something he can relate to, and our brilliant forensic specialist / killer of serial killers looks to Arthur as someone to learn from, believing that Mitchell possessed the key to unlocking his own future happiness. Despite being fully aware of just how dangerous a man he was dealing with, Dexter stops Arthur from committing suicide.
No, you're mine.
Surprising absolutely no one, Arthur eventually turns on Dexter, robbing him of the happiness he already had.
Hello, Dexter Morgan.
Number 2. Ned Trusts Littlefinger, Game of Thrones. This Hand of the King was simply too naive for Westeros. Ned's short run on Game of Thrones is punctuated by a series of poor decisions, culminating in his untimely demise. Ned is defined by his integrity and honesty, two traits that are sadly easily manipulated by Littlefinger and Cersei. After learning that Joffrey is not the rightful heir to the throne, Ned recruits Peter Baelish to dethrone the Lannisters. It's a fatal error in judgment, as Littlefinger promptly betrays him.
I did warn you not to trust me.
Ned's son Robb vows to get vengeance, only to prove himself as naive as his father. The Stark men just don't know how to play this game.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, there it is. Oh, aren't you two so great at that together?
Can I help you, ma'am?
No, I'm fine. I'm just watching my ex-boyfriend make out with the hottest girl I've ever seen.
Number 1. Rick decides to kill Negan and the Saviors, but does not shoot them when in clear view. The Walking Dead. When dealing with someone like Negan, you often only get one opportunity, and unfortunately, Rick kinda dropped the ball. As the charismatic leader of the Saviors, Negan is a ruthless and calculating sociopath who is not above torturing folks to prove a point. Our heroes suit up and manage to corner the Saviors before Rick decides to perform an impromptu countdown instead of just taking Negan and his posse out.
10, 9, 8, 7.
While the battle is won, Rick's stalling gives Negan more than enough time to escape, ensuring that the war is far from over.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.